Good morning. Yeah. All right. I think I can hear myself. So, good morning. This is Eden, and this is the real me on a hot Saturday morning in July, and it's 8:30 Eastern time. I've been awake for about 90 minutes. I have somebody coming over to rehearse with me in about an hour. So, and we're going to be doing a rock and roll 50s and 60s songs. So, I want to make sure my voice is ready for it. So, is that an early time to rehearse? It's I don't mind rehearsing early. Then the rest of my day is free, and I get to go to a concert later. And I'm also gonna make, a video of a Dolly Parton song that I have to send off to somebody else, for collaboration. So, basically, I know my voice has gotta do stuff today, so I wanna make sure that it's ready. So, one of the questions I get asked probably more than anything else is, "How do you warm up?" Or, "How should I warm up?" But, when you're thinking about warming up, think about, what are you doing today? What kind of there, check my feed here. What kind of vocal demands are going to be made on you? If you're performing on Broadway at 8 o'clock, you might have a different set of warm ups. So, but most of my singing is going to happen in the early part of the day, and then I get to go and hear other people sing at a nice outdoor concert. So, they have to do their thing. I'm doing mine. So, but I'm going to be belting. I'm going to be singing things like Dusty Springfield and Connie Francis, and these boots are made for walking and stuff like that. So actually, this lower part of my voice is going to be handy, but I got to do more. So, um, no matter what I'm singing, I'm going to make sure that I know where all the parts of my range are today. I'm going to know how things sound really high up, even if I don't sing high notes later on today. I'm going to know where my low parts are. I'm going to know where the brightest parts of my sound are, like the nasally parts. I'm going to know how to make sounds kind of in the back, ooh, back there. So I can do it quickly. I can do it slowly. I do this pretty much every morning with my coffee. Today I've got coffee with the Beatles. And I often do it while I'm sitting at my desk, looking at email and typing things. I'm vocalizing at the same time. I'm by myself, so nobody thinks it's weird, right? So, the first thing I always am gonna do, because I'm completely cold, I haven't done any warming up and I've barely talked to anybody, is I do lip buzzes and lip trills like this. That was all in one breath. And you notice I had a little splutter there. When you have that, when you're a lip trilling, all of a sudden it stops. It means there's not enough air, there's too much. So I have to kind of recalibrate so that way I get a right amount of airflow. So I can do a bunch of those. I'm just sitting here clicking with my mouse going. I feel that my abs are starting to engage in order to give me a little of that last bit of sound. So that's good. So I feel that happening. And I'm sitting down now, but a lot of this I would do standing up. So I'm also kind of stretching out my body at the same time. So I have a warm up on my website where I do a 2-minute warm up. And I do a lot of this, and it kind of looks a little bit like flailing, but it's just kind of a really quick warm up your entire body and your entire range. It does not mean that's the only warming up I do. Most days I'm doing something like this, where it's just kind of slow and a little bit here, a little bit there. So if I can, some people can't do lip trills and buzzes. So if you can't, you can hum. And that's the thing I like to do too. So I'll go, that I might start chewing. Mm, and I might add an E because that feels good. It feels good to make that kind of a bright sound. Me. Yeah. Right. I know it looks weird. I can't believe I'm doing this on YouTube without makeup. Good God. But this is what really happens. This is keeping it real. So, I have headphones in so I can hear myself through this mic, and I'm hearing myself pretty loud. I'm not worried about being loud. I'm not worried about being soft. Everything is kind of medium, right? But I'm just kind of doing notes up and down, just sliding up in my range. So you can do lip trills, you can do E's. Then I might switch to another vowel. Ooh. Make a closed ooh and then a more open ooh. Ooh, oh, because they feel different. If it broke, if it went like this, or that I would know I needed to change something. I would not keep doing it to make that work. I would instead go, "Oh, oh, mm, oh." I might get softer. I might try more of an "ooh, ooh," a brighter sound, right? I might change I make my "ooh." "Ooh, ooh, 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 ooh," because there are so many different ways to make an "ooh." But when that happens, when the sound kind of breaks up, then that means, oh, don't keep doing it over and over again. Stop and try to change the way you're making your sound, try changing a little bit at a time, see what happens. So I already feel a little warmer. I can feel that things are starting to move. I also feel my phlegm moving. It's allergy season, and I got them. It doesn't feel terrible today, but I can definitely feel it moving. And so make sure you're drinking water while you do it. Coffee, no, is not that great to do. So I'll follow that with a water, chaser for the rest of the day. I love to drink water. So, but yeah, just make sure that I'm keeping things hydrated. And if you got a cough, you got a cough. So I've done those. Now I might do some things that are kind of wide and bright. Meow, 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 ooh, meow. Kind of silly sounds. I could look at Ken has cheeseburger at the time. Look at all the pretty kitties and go, oh, meow, meow. I definitely talk to my computer screen because, and then if I'm really bored or can't think of what else to do, I will read off stuff that I see in my email. In terms of sourcing, organizers have rescued food from restaurants and bakeries, which often have end-of-day leftovers, in addition to local supermarkets, food pantries, and nearby farms, right? You can read it like a broadcaster. It's so stupid, but it's okay. Be stupid right now. Be silly and be playful and light with it. This is all how to warm up your voice first thing in the morning. I would not try to sing a concert right now. So now I might start adding on a little more things that sound a little more musical. I like the sound like that, as in Matt Cassette. So, yeah, 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 yeah. And so now you can tell it begins to sound a little more like music. Yeah, 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 yeah. And it's usually at this point that my husband comes in and says, "You're loud," and that's a good sign. I've got sound panels to put up in my room actually, because I am loud when I do this. And so I wake up the whole house. Hey, what can I say? This also works in the car. You can do all of these in the car. They're fun. Sing along with the radio and also sing along with the commercials and the announcers and everybody on NPR. Try to imitate them. All that does is it gets you kind of flexible, gets things moving. So yeah, 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 yeah. So now I can feel like my high sounds are getting a little easier to hit. And even though I'm not going to sing probably a whole lot of high notes today, I need to know they're there. So, oh, 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 a much more classical sound. So I'm going to make classical sounds. Even though today I'm singing nothing classical, I want to make sure that those sounds are there. Oh, oh, because that's part of my voice. And I have to make sure that all of the parts of my voice are active. So, oh, 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 oh. Notice I haven't touched the piano at all to try to make anything formal. If I did that, it would actually stress me out. In just, my lizard brain, the back of my brain. I would get stressed out thinking I have to go. And I don't want stress right now. I don't want any additional tension. I want relaxation. So do the things that relax you. If that means for you that you're going to go more of a chant type thing, if, do it, right? Do the things that feel good to make vibration and sound in your instrument. That's what you do. This feels good to me. So, I can still hear there's still lots of stuff in the lower part, but the upper part feels pretty good. So if I had to go, I'd be fine, right? I could do it. So, but I'm not going hot today. So I'll start bringing that high sound down. I'm really chest based right now because it's still the morning and I'm coughing up stuff. So I wouldn't want to go, that wouldn't be so fun for me. So instead, I'm going to bring these high sounds down. Ooh is the easiest one for me to do on that. Is pretty. And I'm letting it be breathy. I'm not trying to make any strong sound down low. I'm just trying to make easy sounds. So I can do a bunch of those. I think of Judy Tenuta when I'm doing them. So, pigs. All right. Whatever happened to her? I did a show earlier this year where I played accordion, so I was looking her up to see if she actually played accordion. Yeah, kind of. That feels good. So you see, I'm kind of slowly descending towards the place where I might have to sing. I'm also going to make sure that my tongue is not too tense, so I might stick my tongue out. And I'm looking at my camera. I'm kind of noticing, okay, how do things look? You know, not pretty, kind of a little jokery, but that feels like a really strong, bright sound, a powerful sound that I could turn into a lot of things. So, she loves you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, okay. So I can sing pop today. Woohoo. Good. All right. So then I might start incorporating more phlegm coming up. Good. Some of the lyrics I'm going to do later on. Wishing and hoping and thinking and praying, planning and dreaming each night of his charms that won't get you into his arms. So if you're looking to find love you can share, all you got to do is hold him and kiss him and love him and show him that you care. Right? So I'm being silly with it. So I'm doing lyrics first today. That's one way of kind of looking at music. And so I'm going from just a bare warm up, and now I'm kind of going into the song, but I'm giving myself grace that I don't expect the song to sound very good at all. I expect just that I'm continuing to warm up as I'm kind of transitioning into other words. Think of it that way. So I could try it in a completely silly voice that I wouldn't use later. So if I did it in kind of a Julie Andrews voice, a really, heady, breathy sound, wishing and hoping and thinking and praying, planning and dreaming each night of his charms that won't get you into his arms. So if you're looking to find love you can share, all you gotta do is hold him and kiss him and love him and show him that you care. Okay, totally wrong. It amuses the crap out of me. All right. If I did it in a nasally Bob Dylan style, then I kind of warm up the brighter part of my voice, and it's fun. Listen and hoping and thinking and praying, planning and dreaming each night of his charms that won't get you into his arms. I know. What if I did it Ethel Merman? So if you're looking to find love, you can share. All you gotta do is hold him and kiss him and love him and show him that you care. So, but I did it like Ethel Merman, and so I did a little bit of a belt, right? So now I get to test, like, how's the belt working, right? Am I going to sing it just like Dusty Springfield? No, because she was totally iconic. I'm not going to sing it like her. I might use her phrasing, but I can't be her. So it'll come out somewhere in the middle, right? Wishing and hoping and thinking and praying, planning and dreaming. And I think I changed the key too. I think I took it down for me. Yeah, I did. Wishing and hoping and thinking and praying, planning and dreaming each night of his charms that won't get you into his arms, right? I needed it to be a little bit lower because it was sitting in a rough part of my voice, right? And that part of my voice, I felt, wow, I haven't warmed that up enough. So here's 13 minutes in, and not everything is warm yet. So I went a little bit to the music, but I would not keep going. I probably would start doing some things to kind of warm up the bottom now. Light. This may sound loud because of the mic, but actually I feel like I'm singing pretty light. Ooh, see, it broke. And to me, all that's a sign is that I am not completely warmed up in any way, shape, or form. So I need to be a little more careful, and I need to just focus on that area a little more. It'd be like having a tense muscle. Oh, it's not completely worked out yet. So it just means you keep on working that out, and then the area around it, right? The accessory muscles around it. So I'm going to try with my teeth closed. I'm going to try to kind of sing behind them. This keeps me from opening my mouth too far. Which makes it harder to sing sometimes. When you open your mouth up, you're changing the shape inside here. So sometimes it can inadvertently make it tougher for you to sing, especially things like It's a lot easier to sing an ah in pop music when the mouth is a little bit smaller. So, ha, 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 ha. I just do that as a test and to kind of vary my warming up a little bit. More phlegm coming up. So things are moving. That's a good sign, actually. So that's the chorus of Wishing and Hoping, right? Let's see. It is the same key. Okay. So if you're looking to find love, you can share. All you gotta do is hold him and kiss him and love him and show that you care. Why am I doing that? So it keeps me from opening my mouth too much, which might make me be heavier in my low range and then make it harder for me to belt in my high range. So it's just a technique. It's just something you can try. That I might try it really soft. So if you're looking to find love, you can share. All you got to do is hold him and kiss him and love him and show him that you care. All right, I can do it that way. So that kind of calms my lizard brain down. Like, oh, well, at least I can sing it that way. It might not be how I want to do it in a rehearsal, but I can do it. Right. So if you're looking to find love, you can share. Oh, that broke, right? Share. Okay, there it is. So if you're looking to find love, you can share. All you got to do is hold him and kiss him and love him and show him that you care. I feel better about that. And it's lighter than it was 4 minutes ago because I took the time to work on the lower place where it was. And I warmed up that lower range a little bit and made all of it a little bit lighter, not so heavy. And that makes it easier to go with my higher notes as well. It makes belting easier. Make sense? I hope it makes sense. So this is 17 minutes in, and now I feel like I've warmed up enough that I could rehearse with the person who's coming at 9:30 this morning to rehearse with me. But I'm not going to stop. I'm going to keep on going and hit a few other pieces like, it's my party and I'll cry if I want to, cry if I want to, cry if I want to. That felt good. So maybe I was singing the wrong song too. I'm worried about singing Dionne Warwick, I'll Never Fall in Love Again. I'm worried that's going to be harder than heck. What do you get when you fall in love? So the music came out. What do you get when you kiss a guy? You get enough germs to catch pneumonia. After you do, he'll never phone you. I will never fall in love again. She was really good. She's really good. And she sings way far back. What do you do? So I don't want to do that like that. I can't do it like that. That'll kill me. So I got to do me. All right. Nothing you can say can take me away from my guy. That's fun too. So I'm going to kind of keep singing a little bit all of these songs. I'm probably going to get out my Spotify playlist of all these songs and sing along with them. And that counts as warming up. I'm not going to try to sing them just like them. I might actually, harmonize above them. But I'm going to be, as playful as I can with the music, but I'm still studying it and all of it counts as learning. And by 9:30, I'll feel really good. I won't be too warmed up and I won't have performed it out and be tired. I'll be, kind of ready to go by the time the pianist gets here to rehearse with me, that I feel like I'm ready to meet her and then we can really have fun with it. So it takes a little bit of time to get there. When I was 20, it didn't take quite as long. But now that I'm older, I definitely notice that it takes me more time to warm up. So just does. And I can either be upset about it or I can just do it. I also don't stop warming up just after the morning. So, I'm singing later today. And so I will warm up a little bit, before I do each of those. And for me, it's especially warming up the higher part of my voice. So I'll be, standing with the pianist and I'll just be going, kind of revving my engine a little bit. That's what I call it. I compare it to like revving the motorcycle. But what that does is it helps me make my vocal folds a little bit thinner and then more flexible for what I need to do later. It's the equivalent of like a ballet dancer, they kind of stand in line and they're always stretching. So a ballet dancer, I used to go to school with one, right? And so she and I would be in the lunch line and I'm standing there in the lunch line and she's sitting there in the lunch line doing this, right? She was constantly moving her body and stretching. So that way she always stayed limber. And whenever she felt a part of her body needed to be stretched, she just did it. So think of singing the same way. People might look at you a little strange, but if you need to test that part of your voice and make sure it works, test it right away. Right? To the grocery clerk or in the car, right? Test it. Make all those weird sounds. And that's how you kind of keep your voice, on simmer throughout the day. So that way when you start having to use it, it's useful for you. So that's what works for me. I'd love to hear what works for you. And this was, you asked for it because I get asked that question all the time, how to warm up. So this is what works for me. And I hope you'll try some variation of it for yourself. If you want actual formal warm ups, yes, you can work with me and I can give you some based just on your voice. But I'm going to tell you, it's going to be a lot like this. It's going to start with speech and then it's going to work its way into kind of spoken musical sounds or text, and then finally into more traditional vocalises. I find that works pretty well. Hope it works for you.